These are not even close to fitting. Oh, that is nice. It's not hitting my head anymore.
I got some battle scars in there, you know.
Did come with a CD-ROM. Turns out none of the computers have CD-ROM players anymore, so that's not really helping me.
It doesn't even take that long, and it's not that hard. And you wonder why you waited 2 years to do it.
We did it!
We're always gonna be fixing stuff, we're always gonna be adding things. That's the beauty of a DIY expedition truck, right? Welcome back to another build episode. As you can see, the Unimog is in the shop and we are prepping it for a bunch of projects. We have some huge travel plans this winter, which means we need to get some things done on this truck.
So many projects, and some of them might get done.
Yeah, we might accomplish a small fraction of what we're hoping to. It's usually how these projects go, right?
Let's get at it. Biggest project we're doing is installing this engine preheater. So this is like a hydronic heater. It heats the coolant, which eventually heats up the block. That way when you start up the truck, there's really no smoke because everything's warm and ready to go. Fun part, this did not come with any instruction whatsoever. It did come with a CD-ROM. Turns out none of the computers have CD-ROM players anymore, so that's not really helping me. I've been piecing together little snippets of video from people putting similar products in similar ways, but I haven't found one concise one. Anyways, last night I was already working and getting some of this stuff parted together. I got this connected to the main unit, got the hose prepped. I already kind of know where it's going to go. There's a nice big space in there. This bracket's going to get mounted. I made a couple spacers to get it off of the wall. So I'm kind of on the way on here. My guess is I'm going to get this like 80% and then it's going to sit for a while because I don't know exactly where to plumb it into yet. Been trying to watch videos about that. Can't find anything too clear. I'll figure it out though. Here we go. All right. I've already scouted the spot. We have this big space here. I think ultimately this will probably be an air conditioner in here and this will maybe go back there. But right now, we're a long ways away from that happening. So I'm gonna go with a much easier mounting method for this. It can go right here. I'm a little worried about the wires with this having heat on it. So when I put this unit on there, it's kind of gonna be like this. Probably fine, but just to be safe, I'm gonna bump it out with these aluminum spacers I made. So it'll just push the bracket out. Once I've done that, it'll gap the heater unit off of these ground wires here. I'm not really worried about it either because it's actually the plastic part that's touching there. I'm assuming that's not getting incredibly hot because it's plastic, but I did want to get it off there from rubbing and stuff. So this shouldn't be the hardest mounting process. I just got to go mill some holes through these and then buzz this into the wall, and then I can mount this unit.
Really excited about this preheater. Our Unimog smokes pretty bad, so it'll be really nice to take some of the pressure off of the truck with all those cold starts, and also for us to not smoke so bad. So you may not see that project completely finished in this video, but I have a few smaller projects of my own that I'm going to be working on. The first is the framing for our entry door. You may or may not have noticed, this is just raw foam. This is the inside of the panels that the camper is made of. This is the adhesive that we set that wood block into, that our door mounts into. It's just unfinished is really my point. We never completed the door framing, mostly because I couldn't figure out what the heck I wanted to use to finish the door. The problem with the composite campers is that any metal that you add to it starts to sweat. So originally, since we have access to all this metal, I wanted to do a nice aluminum framing. But after a few winters, I've decided I don't want to add more metal to the inside of the door and just extend the thermal bridging that's happening. I want to stop it. So the product that I've decided to use is this sticky adhesive vinyl floor trim. I think it's just made to trim out like a kitchen or something, but it actually works perfect for what I need it for because there's this little tab here that angles inward, and on the Arctic Tern door, there's a little slot where you could insert something like this, and it should look pretty seamless. So I'm gonna put that around the bulk of the door, and then to trim it out even further, I have vinyl 90-degree angle like edge trim. It's all flexible so that it can go around that doorway. I'm really excited to finally finish the interior of the camper. This is one of the very last original things that we needed to do. But actually that's a huge joke because it'll never be finished, ever. We're always gonna be fixing stuff, we're always gonna be adding things. That's the beauty of a DIY expedition truck, right? We secretly love it.
I was already laughing to myself when you said that. You know what this looks like?
What?
Laffy Taffy. No, not Laffy Taffy. Airheads. The white mystery flavor
The
Airhead.
Airheads!
Mmm, delicious. That's a really big Airhead, though. I don't know if anybody's ever had those candies. Looks just like that.
So it turns out that this adhesive that's on the big pieces is really sticky. It's going to be caught between this groove in the door frame and the angle trim on the outside. So I don't think I'm going to use any Corapop on this. I'm just going to rely on this adhesive because it's basically just boxed in by everything else around it, so it should be okay. And I'm going to put it on and then go around and trim it to size. I think that'll be a little easier. I think the most important thing you can do is just hold the top up from where I'm working so that it doesn't fall into what I'm trying to do. Okay, so hold this up there, and then I can position this at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna put it into the groove and then press the adhesive down. Okay, so this one's in place correctly. It's so satisfying when it just seats right into that groove. It was just made to go in there. It's like pressing the adhesive down behind it, so it's so hard to get it there. But it's in. That's there. And then all this just has to get... Well, if we wake up one morning and it's all on the floor, we'll know it didn't work. Final stretch, here we go. Now I have to just cut in and trim basically. Just 'cause it's hard.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see what I'm doing. I got one black piece that can go under here, and maybe it won't look terrible after one day of rain and mud, us walking in and out. I just knew that white would never ever look good, so I think the black is a good choice. It's already looking really good. Definitely beats the foam being exposed pretty much immediately. It looks great just with that gray foam being covered. So now we have the teeny tiny little edge trim. I did order this size, but I think I underestimated how small it really was. I guess we're gonna see. We'll see if this works. So small. My goodness. Okay. This trim is a little bit more rigid than this stuff that I put on the inside of the framing. It doesn't bend quite as easily, so I'm just gonna heat it up a little bit. If the hairdryer doesn't work, I'll have to use the heat gun, but I don't want to melt it right off the bat. So I'm gonna try to heat it up and just get it around that corner a little bit easier. Oh yeah, it's happening really quickly. It's starting to bend. Okay, cool. It's exactly what I wanted. Wow, that happened really fast though. I finished adding all the trim. I did end up putting a little bit of white trim on the bottom black part just because I don't have any black trim and I don't want to order a whole roll just for like 1.5 feet of it. So I used white down there, and eventually the dirt will stain it dark, so then it'll match, you know? I have to do a little bit of caulk, one on each side where the black trim meets the white, just to seal that up so no water gets underneath. But other than that, it is done. This is the next project. These are Ruuvi sensors, and we are going to mount these on all 4 hubs so that we can monitor the temperatures. On a Unimog, it's critical to monitor your hub temperatures, and up until now, we've been doing this with a temperature sensor gun. We get out and shoot the little laser at the hub and check the temperatures, usually when we stop for fuel or something like that. But now with these, we'll be able to just check it in real time, and it will alert us if a temperature is going out of control so that we can stop and address it and not have anything go horribly wrong while we're driving. Big shout out to our friend Nick for recommending these. He's another Unimog owner, and these little sensors have saved him from a brake caliper that was dragging. We've never had that happen on our truck, but pretty much every Unimog owner that we know that's happened to, except us. So I really want to get these sensors on, so in case that happens, we can catch it. In order to install these, we have to take the wheels off, unfortunately. This is going to be a little bit of a job, but it's preventative, you know? It's going to be worth it. Okay, so this is driver front. So now I can set it to alert me if it goes past a certain temperature. So I'm gonna set it for like 145 degrees. That's kind of what Nick recommended. I think we're probably going to end up getting these sensors for a bunch of different things on the truck, like the diffs, maybe the transmission. It's just a really good way to kind of monitor everything that's going on, but we'll just start with these 4, and then later on we can add more. Yep, it's free. The sensor is on. Drew's getting the final parts of the lug nuts tightened. Let's see in the app here. So I can now look at driver front hub, and it says 60 degrees just about, because we're in the shop and that's what the thermostat is set for. It makes me feel a lot better being able to monitor the temperatures of the hubs in real time. So I think it's definitely worth getting the sensors, and now we just have 3 more to go. Good morning, it's day 2 of projects on the truck. We finished up yesterday by getting the other 3 Ruuvi sensors mounted, so the truck is all wirelessly wired up with sensors. Pretty excited to have that done, but the remaining 3 were just a repeat of the first one. We had to take the tire off, clean, get the sensor positioned, so that is all done. Really happy to have that finally finished. So today is just more of little maintenance things, fixing small things that have broken. The first thing is the drawer slides on our outdoor kitchen. Now, originally this was a flaw with the drawer slide. Pretty much 2 days after we installed them, one of the little tiny metal tabs on it broke, and so the right side has been sagging on that broken drawer slide pretty much since the beginning. You may not have been able to see it on camera, but we were actually cooking everything just a little bit tilted to the right. All of this could use a good cleaning too, honestly. Dusty, dusty. Whew, that's a bunch of the desert left in there. That's what that is. That's Utah. All right, we got the new drawer slides. One. Should I just replace the broken one, or should I replace both of them?
Just replace the broken one and see how it works.
Yeah, because
I don't
you
know.
could save the other one for if a...
For when the other one breaks.
when the other one breaks. Yeah, I'm just afraid they won't match up. Even the little latch is a slightly different color. Maybe it's a little different.
Yeah, I might drive me crazy. Yeah. These are not even close to fitting. We hadn't looked at them till now. They sent these as replacements. They're in a box. You know, they're not multiple feet longer, so we didn't really think much of it. Not even close.
Yeah, these are not the right drawer slides. Look at this. The main part of the slide comes out to here, whereas the other one stops right here. You can see.
I would just leave it hanging out of there while we drive.
Yeah, we'll just not be able to shut the storage box. That'll be great. Thank God I didn't take the other ones off fully. Like, I had just gotten into the process when I noticed it, because I took this piece off of the slide out part and went to put the new one on, and it was significantly larger and the holes didn't line up. This is how these projects go sometimes. It's really disappointing because I wanted to get those switched out, especially while we have the indoor space for the day. It's nice to work in here. It's a bit warmer now that the weather is cold, but it's not happening today. You gotta put the old drawer slides back on. Man.
Back to Tilty Kitchen for now.
Back to Tilty Kitchen. Fantastic.
You gotta laugh.
Oh, what a debacle.
All right, the setback with the drawer slide, that's a little disappointing, but what is not disappointing is it's time to make some pizza. We got the outdoor kitchen already set up. Bighorn sent over their pellet fired pizza oven. If you ever watch our channel, we make pizza a lot. And when they got a hold of us, we were like, yeah, we'll definitely check it out. So let's see how good it works today. I don't know, let's get to it.
Would you call us pizza experts at this point?
Oh no, I would never throw that around.
Pizza connoisseurs, perhaps?
Something like that, we like pizza.
We make a lot of pizza. We got some homemade dough and it has been rising. It is ready to stretch and we are ready to test this pizza oven. We're trying out the Bighorn pellet pizza oven today, but they also have gas pizza ovens, electric ones, and multi-fuel pizza ovens, which is a combo between pellet and gas. What we've noticed from our first testing of the pizza oven is that it preheats in about 20 minutes and it can get up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 400 degrees Celsius. So a pizza will cook in about 90 seconds. That's way different than cooking a pizza in your oven at home. This pizza oven folds up really small. The legs fold up underneath and the chimney detaches, so it's perfect for taking with you, camping, tailgating. You can take it to barbecues, and you don't have to just cook pizza. You can fit a cast iron pan inside the oven to cook steak, salmon, vegetables, all sorts of different things. We make pizza constantly. It's a staple of us being on the road, and you know that homemade pizza just tastes better. You can't beat homemade dough, and it costs a lot less than getting takeout. Oh, cheers.
Cheers. Pizza pie. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
like fluffed up really good.
This is legitimately incredible.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting more, the heat in the air is hotter than the one we have. We're getting like more of a bubbling.
I already got my second piece, of course.
Going back for more.
Bighorn Pizza Oven, 2 thumbs up. I can't put 2 thumbs up because I'm holding pizza. Wow. Thank you so much to Bighorn for sponsoring this video. If you want to get a link to this pizza oven, head down in the description below. We've left a link down there where you can find this pizza oven for yourself. Cheers. All right, final project for the day. I'm going to be focusing on the cab. There's something in the cab that has been really annoying again, pretty much since day one. And that is the headliner. Drew is 6'2", so when he sits in the driver's seat, his head is already fairly close to the ceiling. It's not hitting the ceiling, but when the headliner's falling down, it is hitting his head. You've probably noticed it in a lot of our videos when I show shots of Drew driving. The headliner's just kind of sagging down towards his head. So another Unimog owner actually reached out to us. Lawrence, if you're watching, thank you so much for the suggestion. He told us what he did to fix the sagging headliner in his Unimog. So I have some machine screws. I have a whole container of riv nuts and some washers. The problem is that the little plastic clips that some of the headliners come with don't work very well. Ours came with a combo of plastic button things and metal clips. The plastic buttons are okay, but those are all on my side of the cab. On Drew's side, it was these tiny little flimsy metal clips. So I'm gonna be going with the riv nuts, the machine screws, and some large washers on Drew's side to push up that headliner, and that'll be a little bit more robust than what was going on there before, and hopefully hold it up for good. Is this piece 27 inches?
Yep.
All right, there's a lot going on in here.
Promise you gotta rip back to the mat.
Drew cut this piece of aluminum. So the roof of the Unimog is just one piece. There's no gap in between 2 panels. So if we drill up into it, we're gonna be drilling through our roof. So I was always gonna have to insert something in here to be able to screw up into it. The roof has these different grooves on it that create gaps. So we're just gonna glue it to the lower parts and screw up into the higher parts so that we have room to come out the back of the aluminum, if you can picture what I'm saying. It'll all make sense. Then we're gonna adhesive this bar up there. Once I get this sound deadener mat scraped off of there, we can adhesive it and then put this back up, screw up into the metal that we just mounted, and it should hold itself up like that. It's really the middle that's the problem, because we can attach it fairly easily on this edge, but if we do that, the middle is still really saggy. You can see like when the edge is secured, there's still a lot of movement that could go up towards the ceiling. So we're trying to make the most of what we have. Some of it's coming off pretty well.
Oh, there goes our silent cab.
Deconstructing it. That wasn't too bad. I thought this was gonna be a nightmare to get this stuff off. Really, one scrape, and it came right up. This is just one of those jobs that we've been staring at in the cab every time we drive. For like 2 years, you think to yourself, I need to fix that headliner. I need to fix that headliner. But you just never get around to it. And then once you do it, it doesn't even take that long and it's not that hard. And you wonder why you waited 2 years to do it. This is mostly gonna affect you because it bumps into your head.
That's why it hasn't been done, because I don't care that much to make the effort.
Yeah, if you cared more, this would have been done.
Yeah.
Within a couple days of finishing off the cab, we would have gone back and rectified this, but you know, if he didn't care, I didn't really care. My side didn't sag.
There's too many bigger fish out there. So there's always more bigger things to deal with. It doesn't matter that much.
I got some battle scars in there, you know. It's not a job unless you cut your fingers a few times. I forgot that butyl mat, the sound deadener that we did to the cab, it has a metal backing on it that's actually pretty thick and it will cut your hands up. I forgot that from when we installed it in the cab. I remember that being kind of brutal and it got me again.
Got the holes drilled. Now we can put these little guys in here. Riv nuts. We were gonna tap it, but we realized we didn't have an M5 tap, so we went with these riv nuts that we had available. It's actually almost easier. Here we go. Feel the action now. If I'm not getting it out like that, it's not coming out. Cool. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay. Some tape or something.
You needed something to press it up because I don't think the roof of the cab is even. So one side would be pressed up and the other side would be angled down. So we definitely have to get it pressed tight while the adhesive dries. So we got a little jack. Another use for it. The supports are in place. We're just gonna let that dry for a little bit. Then we can screw in the headliner and it'll be done. Good morning. We can finally install the headliner because the bar should be fully set to the roof now, so this can stop happening, you know. These are the holes with the riv nuts. The bar is glued to the roof. All right, take this, put it up there in its final resting place.
Do it.
All right, can you hold it up so I can measure?
Yeah, let me get into the dog seat. Yeah, now it's like, we'll see how this goes. Once we get one, it'll be easier. I knew this was going to be a pain in the butt. thought I was getting it.
This has been a bit of a pain. We even tried to put a little dab of paint on the riv nut and pushing the headliner up against it, but because of the foam car builders, the headliner never actually meets the bar that we glued in, so that won't work. So now we're just fishing around. It's close because we measured it, but it is not spot on. We just have to try to find it. Here it comes.
I get somewhere near it. It's gotta be right there.
Okay. I'll use the pom-pom from my hat to hold it up.
Yeah, I got it.
You did?
Yeah.
Good job, Drew.
There's one anyways.
Hey, but now it'll hold itself up.
Try to get the front one next, I would say.
Okay.
We did it! Whew, that was a little bit of a pain, but it actually worked out. Okay, it's the last one. Get that nice and tight. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Definitely better. Before, it was like right at my head. There's a bit of a gap now. You can see it's in here. Oh, that is nice. It's not hitting my head anymore. It's definitely not coming down either. Those are in there pretty strong. All right. Whew.